Hi guys, this is Tina here from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So we're here for another one of our mass making sessions, and I thought what we could do today is make these cute little like faux envelope fold out pieces. So they look like this and they tuck into each other, so they keep really neat and tidy, and then they completely fold out like that. So they're absolutely super simple to make, but they're just kind of quite a neat little piece to enclose in your journal. So all you're going to need to make some of these, you're going to need some square papers, and they do need to be square. Well, I think they need to be square. I haven't tried them not square. They maybe would work. I don't know. I haven't tried them. But you're going to need some square papers. So I thought this would be an ideal one to use up some of my 6x6 papers. So I've brought along a couple of 6x6 pads. I brought along this sheet of 8x8 paper. Whether or not I will be able to bring myself to actually use this, I don't know, because I've had it in my stash for years, hoarding it because I absolutely love it. But if nothing else, I will use this as a template to cut out some 8x8 sheets from, I've got some sheet music and of course some printed papers there as well. Now, I would probably recommend that you use some sort of double-sided paper for these, because of course when you open them, you're going to have the inside. Obviously these 6x6 papers, these are not double-sided. So what I'm going to do is when I come to use these, I'm going to actually ink them up on the inside, you know, first, so that they're, well, not patterned, but you know, they've got some colour to them. So that's, I think, all you're going to need is literally your paper, your bone folder and some scissors. And that's kind of going to be it, really. Unless, of course, you're going to be decorating, in which case you'll need some bits to decorate. So how do we make these? So if I take a 6x6 sheet, and I'm just going to cut that piece there off where it's come out of the pad. Okay, so we just chop that down, and I'm just going to then ink the back of it, because as I say, this is, you know, just white. I could have coffee dyed these. I just obviously haven't had a chance or anything. But I mean, I find that scrapbook papers coffee dye beautifully. So yeah, I mean, definitely, if you've got the time, it's worth coffee dyeing them. Okay, so I just wanted to have a little bit of colour so it wasn't completely plain. And then all you're going to do is you're going to take your square and you're going to fold it completely in half on the diagonal. So like that on the diagonal line. And I just squish that down with my bone folder. Okay. You're then going to open it out and have the point facing you. And all you're going to do is fold that bottom flap up into that centre line. Okay. So you're just going to squish that down like that. And then turn it back round so it's facing you again. And then when you fold this up, all you want to do now is fold your sides in. Now you're not going to want to fold on this absolute edge, because if you do that, you're not going to have enough here to be able to tuck your flaps in. So you're going to want to come over, you know, maybe 1/2 centimetre or something like that. So just come over a little bit and just squish that down like that. And then you're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So bring your other kind of side in to make your other flap. Like, oops, like that. Okay, and then again, just going to squish that down with my bone folder. Like that. And then all you're going to do is take your flap, and that will just tuck neatly into the other flap. And that just holds that completely closed then. So just going to squish it down completely there. And then of course you can then tuck your top flap over like a sort of conventional envelope. So what I'm going to do is just round my top bit. I mean, you don't have to do that. And then you can tuck this flap down. You could just, you know, hold it with a paper clip or something like that. So I just squish this down like that. Okay, and so when you come to use this in your journals, you could either just have this as a sort of tuck-in piece, which, you know, would be fantastic on its own, or you could glue this down on the back onto a page, and then what you've got is basically it's glued down. Open your flap and then untuck like that, and here and here, and you've got the entire sheet then for writing on. So very, very compact, you know, takes up kind of no space at all, just all folds in on each other, but actually quite a bit of room once you've actually untucked it. So really, really super cute, aren't they? So let's make another one, and I'll just kind of go through that again. I mean, nothing complicated, because of course I never make anything complicated, but I will just run over it another once or twice, because I know that when I'm watching things, I need to see it normally a couple of times to remember, you know, where are my folds going and things like that. So again, I'm just inking up the inside. And I mean, actually, you could even do this afterwards, because of course we can still get to the inside even after they're kind of folded over and what have you. So, you know, you don't even have to do this bit first. You could do this bit afterwards. So then you're going to take your square, and then you're going to just fold it over on the diagonal, completely in half like that. Squish it down like that. Okay, and then you're going to open it up again, facing you. Get your bottom point, and then you're going to bring your bottom point into approximately the middle line. Okay, you're going to then squish that down like that, bring it up, and then you're going to fold your corners in, or your side flaps, sorry, in like that. One. Okay, and then two. I mean, you might want to turn it around and just kind of make sure they're, you know, not way off kind of sides. You know, you don't want one kind of up here and one down there, but so long as they look more or less, you know, then that's absolutely fine. No one's going to be really looking that closely, I'm sure. So, and then you're going to be able to just tuck your flaps in like that. I mean, I'm doing this with the bone folder then once they're tucked in, just because that really makes them lovely and flat, you know, really holds them together, but you don't have to do that. And then just round your envelope flap, and again, your whole flap then, you know, will fold over. I mean, you don't even have to fold the top flap down. You could leave the top flap completely open. But they're super cute, aren't they? Really, really sweet. And to be honest, the other thing is, you could even, once they're, you know, if you were gluing this in, use this as a little tuck spot or a pocket as well. Just want to make sure it's going into that flap and not just coming out the bottom, but because obviously you've got a gap there. But if you're careful, you could actually just tuck things into those little flaps as well. So you've almost got like a pocket as well to use with these. So they're really cute, aren't they? And, you know, let's face it, couldn't be easier. So I'm just going to move that to one side, and we'll just do this one. I mean, like I say, I never do anything difficult because, oh gosh, life's difficult enough, isn't it? Who wants to be doing difficult things in crafting? Definitely not me. So, yeah, quick and easy. That's the key, quick and easy. And to be honest, you know, quick and easy can still be effective, can't it? So, you know, things don't have to be complicated to be pretty, or to be, you know, a great idea or a great, you know, function in your journal. So again, I'm going to just fold this into the middle like that, squish it down like that, right along. And then again, we're going to just open it out facing us, and then take your bottom piece, fold it into that middle bit, squish it down, fold it back over like that, and then you're just going to again take your sides in like that. So 1, and then the other one. Okie dokie. So, I mean, this paper actually, on these 6x6 papers, this is sort of thicker. Don't know whether it says, I can't see whether it says a GSM or anything, but I mean, it's slightly thicker paper, but to be honest, they're still folding down quite flat and, not really too bulky at all. So, you don't have to use like your thinnest, flimsiest paper. This paper is still, folding out and working brilliantly. So, and again, fold my flap down. Like I say, I mean, you don't even really have to fold your top flap down if you'd rather not. But just like that. So cute, aren't they? And again, just kind of round that off at the end. So I will be quiet now and we can just kind of crack on making some, because like I say, I mean, they're really not, not difficult or anything like that. So I'll just tear out a few of these 6x6 papers. So this is a gorgeous pad that, as you can see, it was only £1.50 from a shop that we have over here called The Works. A couple of years ago now, I have to be honest, it wasn't very recent or anything, it was a couple of years ago, but aren't some of these papers so pretty? These are very flimsy. They're not, they're not thick paper at all. But I'll just, be able to make a few out of these. So, and it's, a good way to use up some of these papers, to be honest. So I'll just tear out a few. Okay, maybe this blue one. And then we'll make some bigger ones, I think. So, I mean, hopefully, I'm hoping we'll be able to make loads of these because, they are so quick. So that would be really great to actually make something that I make tons and tons of. So, again, I mean, this is all taking up time. And like I say, you don't have to actually ink your piece up because you could always, you could just paint it with some coffee after you've folded it in. I'm just doing this because then they'll be in my stash literally, ready to use. So I'm going to do this a bit more assembly line style, I think. So doing all of my inking first, then do all of my folding. And then I'll probably change it up and try some bigger ones. So just trying to get a bit more of a sort of factory situation going on here. Okay, so doing all of my, the same sort of tasks. Okay, so I will be quiet now about what we're doing because, of course, like I say, it's very simple. And we can just relax and have a nice time now, getting some serious mass making done, hopefully. So I hope everybody's having a good week. I know it's only early. For me, I know I say, say this all the time as well, but for me, it's on Monday. I always film these on a Monday. So it's about 10:30, I think, Monday morning. So everybody's at school and work. So it's nice and quiet here. I can't believe that we're actually, already flying through December. Just, I know I go on about this all the time, but I mean, this year has been so quick. And I can't believe we're actually heading towards Christmas like at this rapid rate that we seem to be heading towards it. So we finally put our Christmas tree up last week. We did it on, I think it was on Tuesday. Was Tuesday the 1st? Yeah, I think we did it then. We always do it on the 1st every year, unless there's something, stopping us. I know that sometimes, I think one year it was like a Sunday and my oldest son was at work and he wouldn't come home till about 7:30 or 8 o'clock. So we didn't do it then. We shifted it so that we could do it on a night when everybody could do it. But I mean, if we can, we do it on the 1st. So yeah, we did it last week on Tuesday. So that's quite nice. We're feeling a bit more festive. still haven't started my Christmas shopping. I just love to leave it to the last minute. Yeah, I have no idea really about that. But I mean, to be honest, there hasn't really been that much opportunity because, of course, we were in lockdown, you know, which meant the shops weren't open anyway until I think it was on Wednesday the 2nd was when the lockdown finished. So, you know, then obviously I'm working kind of all week. So definitely kind of no chance of doing anything during the week, really. And then at the weekend, obviously the children are kind of with us. So I'm going to have a day off work, I think, either this week or next week, to, you know, go and do some Christmas shopping. So, yeah, I'll have to kind of do that. Otherwise, Christmas will come and I actually won't have done any, which would be a bit of a nightmare, wouldn't it? Sorry, I'm just trying to see which way up this needs to go. Hang on, if my flap comes down. Yeah, oh, that's okay. Yeah, so I did manage, though, to get... there's a shop here called Argos, and they are like a... Well, historically, they were like a catalogue kind of shop, and you would pick your item from the catalogue and then you would go and buy it in the shop, quoting the catalogue number. You know, and they're a brilliant shop. They sell every single thing, you know. I can't really think of much they don't sell. And, you know, they always used to have a really huge catalogue. But of course, obviously, you know, in recent years, things have moved to online. So they don't really, I think, even have a catalogue anymore. I think it's literally all online. However, they do have a catalogue at this time of year. So I did manage to pick up a catalogue for my daughter to have a look through. Because, you know, to give Santa, or give her some ideas to write to Santa to say what she would like. And obviously to give Santa some ideas of anything that maybe is not on the list of what types of things she might like. So she's been having good fun going through that. Well, her and I together have been looking through the catalogue. It's surprising how long that takes, with little girls especially, because of course every single page, there's something on every single page that she's kind of, oh, wait, let me look. Oh, let's have a look at this. And then she makes me look it up online. And yeah, so it's quite a protracted process. But, you know, it's helpful because otherwise, I mean, it's just kind of a bit of a minefield, to be honest. I mean, there's so much stuff now that you can get. And, you know, it's all so kind of sophisticated. It's not like when we were children and there was just like Cindy. She was like the British version of like Barbie. There was like Cindy and I don't know. There was a doll called Tiny Tears. I don't know whether she even exists anymore, but she was like a baby, you know, baby doll, like with prams and things. I wasn't really ever into those types of things. My older sister really liked her prams and dollies and things. I was much more a Cindy doll and Barbie doll type child. There was not a whole bunch of craft things, you know, when we were kids. So, yeah, whereas now, of course, there's tons of craft, there's tons of, well, you name it, there's, you know, it's there, tons of every single thing. Lots of it's like scented or it does other things. So it kind of takes a little bit longer because you want to look at the reviews. Because, I mean, some of these things look amazing and you think, oh, you know. But I suspect that some of them don't really quite work as you imagine. I mean, there's like flying, I don't know, flying fairy things. Again, I mean, they look fantastic. I just can't believe that they quite work as they're, you know, as they look like they do. And the thing is, you know, my daughter obviously thinks she's going to be, you know, this thing will be flying around the room. Well, I suspect it wouldn't be. Although, that said, so on the other hand, children are very easily pleased, aren't they? So, you know, even if they have these high expectations in the first place, I think on the whole, they, you know, what we think is not particularly great, they actually do think is very magical and, you know, cool. So yeah, she would maybe be more pleased than, you know, I would I would be. But anyway, so that's you know, what's been taking up a lot of our time at the moment. And then my sons, I mean, obviously my oldest son, he's going to be 18 on New Year's Eve. And, oh, well, I keep on saying, oh, what are you going to ask Santa for? He doesn't really know. He did at one point say, oh, perhaps Santa could just bring me some money. But I'm not sure Santa really brings money, so not sure. And then my middle son, he's going to ask Santa for some trainers. Oh my goodness, that are so extortionate. They're like over £100. Yeah, just crazy, crazy price. I mean, he showed me a picture. They look, quite frankly, much like his other trainers that he's got that were nowhere near that price. They were, you know, the same brand, but they aren't these particular ones. So yeah, but that's what he's asking Santa for. So I did say, well, you know, you may only get those trainers, you know, nothing much else. But he's happy with that because he, you know, he really likes those trainers. So, and I'm sure he'd manage to get some smellies and, you know, all those kinds of things as well. So I'm sure he wouldn't literally end up with a pair of trainers, but, you know, I'm sure Santa would perhaps bring some other little bits and bobs, maybe some chocolate and, you know, a couple of smellies, maybe some, I don't know, hair gel or something like that. Just some little tiny bits. I mean, I know I've said all this before, but I mean, boys are so much harder than girls, aren't they, to buy for. I just find girls, there's so many little bits and pieces that you can buy for girls. And boys, there's just not that same range. And it just makes it very tricky when you're buying stuff because, you know, there's just not the choice that there is for girls. I mean, kind of boys, you can get these like Lynx deodorant-y type sets with like a shower gel and things like that. And that's pretty much kind of the extent of it. Whereas girls, I mean, you can get all those bath bombs and hair things and nail polish and, you know, earrings and jewellery and all sorts of things that are really very cheap. And, you know, that they would have tons and tons of things to open. Whereas boys, you know, they're really not going to have very much to open. I mean, not that that matters because obviously my boys are, you know, like I say, much older. But, you know, it's a shame, isn't it? So I'm going to try one here with the sheet music. Let's hope I cut my square reasonably accurately. Okay. Just squish that in like that. I'm going to do it, I think, this way round. Like that. And at the weekend, oh, Saturday was just the most foul weather. It was just horrible the whole day. It just rained and rained and rained and rained. Really, really horrible. And then Sunday, what was it like? Sunday was kind of okay, but my gosh, it was freezing cold. So, yeah, we didn't do a great deal on Sunday. What did we do? Well, we did our food shopping on Saturday. We just did a big shop this week, partly because we were a bit kind of disjointed. My youngest son has now gone back to work at the restaurant where he works because, of course, they're now open following the lockdown. So he wasn't going to be there to do his food shop because he went out with his friend on Saturday. My eldest son, well, he was very kind and put a plug in for us yesterday, but it ended up taking him the whole day. Poor thing. I felt so terrible. You know, I'm sure you've heard me say this tons of times before, but he's training to be an electrician. So, I mean, he was keen to, you know, to run this plug. And, you know, of course, I was really thrilled that he can now run plugs and things for us. So it was just an extra plug in my daughter's bedroom. And, well, all because really, she's now having my son's old television in her room. She didn't have a television in her room, but he was very lucky in that my parents got a new telly. They then offered him their old telly. So yeah, he's now, or she now has got his old telly in her room. So she obviously is, you know, thrilled to bits to have that. Sorry, I'm just looking through trying to find paper rather than card here. She's now got his telly in her room, but she didn't have a plug, you know, anywhere where the telly would kind of be. So he very kindly ran a plug for us. But yeah, it was obviously very involved because, I mean, her room is a tip for a start. So obviously it took a lot of time moving all of her rubbish out of the way. And then he had to take up kind of the floorboards to put it under there. And well, it just, yeah, was very involved. So I felt terrible because it took him literally the whole day. And I mean, of course, he's only in his, you know, he's been doing his apprenticeship for about 13 months now. So, you know, he's not obviously, you know, very experienced in that type of thing. So, yeah, poor him. I mean, I'm sure he must have thought, oh gosh, why on earth did I ever volunteer for this? But, you know, he persevered and he managed to get the plug set up. So that was yesterday. And as I say, took him the whole day. Poor thing. So we just took my daughter on a bike ride. My husband and I just took my daughter on a bike ride. My youngest son, as I say, he was at work. I can't think what else we did. Oh, my daughter and I, we did some crafting and things together. And I can't think what else we did. I can't think. I'm sure there was something else, but I actually can't think now off the top of my head. But yeah, we that was our weekend. And my daughter is thrilled to bits now with her TV in her room. So this morning, she was obviously watching her TV. So when I came upstairs, I always kind of do my workout first thing in the morning. So when I came upstairs from, you know, doing my workout downstairs, she said, oh, Mum, come and look in my room. I've got my TV. Because it wasn't finished when she went to bed last night. So, you know, it just got finished, obviously, this morning. The TV was up and everything, but, you know, the last few things getting put back in her room. So it was kind of too late for her to be able to look at her telly or anything last night by the time it was all finished. You know, and her room obviously wasn't straight enough. So, yeah, she was obviously really chuffed. Oh, come and see what I'm watching. She was watching the film Nativity. So, yeah, no doubt that's going to cause a problem now, just delaying her in getting ready for school. But anyway, she's thrilled to bits with that. So that's all really good. Sorry, these are my French blue papers, again, from my shop. I used them last week, I know, in my project that I did last week. But yeah, that's those again. And then I'm going to use, I think, these. So, and these are my Paris bouquet. So I'm going to do, again, cut it down to a kind of 8x8. And, you know, I did specifically kind of cut some to, or print some double-sided, so I had some for this project today. And then I also put up my new challenge in my Facebook group. So thank you so much to everyone who joined in the November challenge. And again, thank you so much to everyone who's joined the group. And if you're, you know, because I've had messages kind of saying, oh, you know, I've joined and it's pending. I do come to the, you know, approving kind of people applying, you know, every few days. So yeah, if you're still pending, I do apologise. I haven't forgotten you, or I haven't forgotten that I've got that to do. It's just I haven't got round to it yet. So yeah. Anyway, so the challenge is, I think I posted that yesterday afternoon. I'm just seeing how I want this, sorry. So yeah, I posted that yesterday afternoon, and just like with November, I've actually already done my video for the November challenge, December challenge. And I will put that up probably not until January now, because just like with the November one, I don't want to, you know, influence anybody with what I'm doing, because, you know, the challenge is completely for you guys. It's not a kind of, you know, me dictating what has to be done or anything. So, and I love seeing everybody's unique interpretation, obviously, of the challenge. So, yeah, now I have to say, yeah, this was the crafting that I did yesterday, when I was, you know, crafting with my daughter. Well, she was over crafting, doing her thing, and I was doing mine. But, oh my goodness, what a hard challenge. So if anybody has joined in already, oh my goodness, how have you found that challenge? I have struggled and struggled, to the point where I'm kind of thinking I may actually do a second, you know, a second version, because it was so far away from what I thought I was going to make, if you see what I mean. When I set the challenge, it just veered off and took on a life of its own. It's not quite finished even now, but yeah, I found it really, really hard, because the things that, you know, were on there to, you know, to complete the challenge were actually such a weird and wonderful array of things that it, yeah, was actually pretty tricky. So yes, if you have joined in, let me know. What did you think? Did you think it was just really, really hard, or was that just me? And if you haven't joined in yet, please don't let me put you off by saying it was really tricky. It wasn't tricky as in, you know, difficult, because like I say, I never do anything difficult, but the items that, or I mean, not necessarily items, but, you know, the suggestions for the challenge, I did find to be very challenging. So, but it was fun. And, you know, a few people did actually, you know, message me and said, you know, that they really like having a challenge, because it just gives them a little bit of direction, you know, when you're struggling to kind of craft sometimes. And I totally agree. So, you know, sometimes it's nice to, even if it's this weird and wonderful eclectic thing that you would never have chosen to do, it's quite nice having a little bit of a starting point, isn't it? You know, because sometimes you can kind of sit down at your desk or whatever, and you know, it's a bit overwhelming with where to start. So the nice thing with challenges, even if they're not necessarily what you would have done, you know, had you kind of just been crafting on, you know, on your own, they do give you a starting point, and, you know, they do make you think outside the box, which I guess is, you know, really fun, isn't it? Because otherwise, I know that I definitely am inclined to just do the same old things, you know, same old, yeah, the same old things really. So, yeah, you know, definitely fun. But so if you haven't joined in and, you know, you're wanting to join in, please do, because I love seeing everyone's awesome challenges. There were so many fantastic challenges for February. February? I don't know where that came from, so sorry. For November. I mean, November, it's not even similar, is it, to February? So, yeah, there were so many awesome takes on the challenge for November. So I'd love, you know, to see what you do for the December challenge. Okay, right. Let me just check what time we're up to. 34 minutes. So these are really great, because I am making a lot of these, I have to say, which is fantastic. Now I've got some more here, which they may be printed on just a little bit too thick card. Oh, this one's on paper, so we might be okay with this. Yeah, okay. So this is my Claridge's papers. So again, I'm going to just take this down to an 8x8 sort of size. Okay. like that. Okay. Finally finished the crown as well. So yeah, I was actually quite sad that it finished, because now, of course, I've really been just flicking through and watching random things. You know, every night I seem to now be tuning into something different, which, you know, that's the beauty of when you're watching a series, isn't it? Because you're just then literally, you know what you're watching every day. Yeah, so I was disappointed when that finished, to be honest. You know, obviously I knew it was going to finish, but a bit disappointed, because now I'm again looking around every day for different things, and I've watched kind of an episode of this or an episode of that, and nothing's quite grabbing me. What did I start watching last night? Oh, is it Virgin River? Virgin River? I think it's Virgin River. I mean, obviously very early days, so I don't know whether I'll stick with that or not. And again, I was kind of on my laptop and doing things, so I wasn't really paying much attention to it, which was a shame, because it's possibly quite good, but I wasn't really focusing and concentrating on it properly. But I will say this much, my gosh, the scenery is absolutely beautiful. I don't know where that was filmed, but my gosh, it's so pretty. Absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous, 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 you know, scenery and landscape. So yeah, it's worth watching just for that, even if the story, I don't know whether the story is going to kind of come up to much, but just that beautiful setting is just like lovely to watch. There we go. Okie dokie. And again, just round that corner piece off. Okie dokie. I think it's going to rain soon. I have to say, it was freezing this morning. I don't know what the temperature was, but it was pretty cold. So, sorry, I just had to get some water. I suddenly had a really, really dry throat there. Yeah, I'm not sure what the temperature was, but my gosh, it was freezing. I think yesterday it said it was 3.5 degrees. So I'm guessing it was, you know, probably similar today. It was certainly freezing. Very, very, very cold. Which, you know, of course, I mean, you expect that, don't you, at this time of year? So I'm not, you know, I'm not kind of complaining, but it was just, whew, kind of definitely felt it. And then I've just got some purple papers, which, okay, let's just have a look. Which one shall I choose? Oh, sometimes it's hard to pick a paper, isn't it? Hard to choose a paper. Right, let's just go for this one. So this one is my Purple Rain papers. So yeah, let me just check. I might prefer a bit more of a patterned one actually than that. So got a few of those here. So again, this is the Purple Rain as well. Let's just go to this side, I think. And as I say, I printed off some paper double-sided intentionally, you know, this morning, ready for doing this video. So it's all good to go. Okey-doke. My exciting thing probably for the week is, I don't know whether anyone has heard of these Boots calendars, Boots advent calendars. So I know that when I was at work previously, in my previous job, many of the women there, they bought these lovely calendars every year. You know, these girly advent calendars, and I'd never bought one or anything. But yeah, they all kind of talked about them and said how lovely they were. And just deciding which way to fold this in, sorry. But I had never obviously bought one or anything. And this year, my mum treated me and my sisters all to a calendar. So, how kind was that? I was really touched by that. So yeah, she treated us all to a calendar and she dropped it off a few weeks ago. So obviously I have been opening my Boots calendar. So for anyone who hasn't heard of them, and like I say, I had heard of them but didn't really know, what was contained in them. So I don't want to spoil it for anyone who's got one and maybe hasn't opened all of their days, up to date. But they are a calendar from a shop that we have here called Boots, which is, yeah, like I guess conventionally it was a chemist. So it sells, makeup and body stuff and, obviously medicine and things like that. But in their Boots calendar, the official Boots calendar, it contains all like beauty products and makeup and things like that, just in little sample sizes, but for every day in the lead up to Christmas. So, you might get like a little cream or maybe like a little nail varnish or, something like that. And oh, so nice. It just made me feel so spoiled and so girly, because I don't generally kind of buy things like that. I mean, I do buy makeup, of course, and cream and things, but I don't kind of hunt around and shop around and, look for new products or anything like that. I just buy my same old stuff that I always buy, just when it runs out and I need it. So to actually have this calendar with kind of a selection of things that I've never tried before, it's just lovely. And like I say, it just really felt indulgent and really very girly and nice. So yeah, I was really chuffed with that. And as I say, my mum was so kind, she bought one for me and my two sisters. So we've all been enjoying, and herself obviously, we've all been enjoying them. And now I can see obviously why everyone at work always loved them and had them every year. Right, let's count up how many we've done, because I think we've done a lot. So I'll take out the first two because of course I've made them previously, so that's cheating to include those. But wow, this has been a super productive mass making session, I think. So let's count them. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So yay, that was really good, wasn't it? So let's decorate one up now. So perhaps I'll decorate up a little spotty one, and perhaps I'll decorate up one of my papers as well. So there we go. Right, so the first thing that I probably want to do is, of course, ink them up. So this one especially, because it's very white, the background's very white. So of course I want to, disguise that a little bit. So I'll go around the back as well, for just in case it's not glued down. Because, of course I don't know where I would be using this yet. And then I'm going to have to open it up to get in to everywhere. Okie doke. And then just down here as well. Okay. Okie dokie. So of course, I'm not going to go too mad with this, because you don't want to decorate it up so much that then it's not going to function, as an opening piece. So all I'm going to do is literally just pop on, maybe 1 or 2 very flat items. Maybe something here on one of the flaps there. And then I could possibly, I don't know, put maybe a flower or something on there. Let me just see what I've got floating around on the desk. Oh, I've also got some flowers here that I could put on the flap. So I'll just bring that one down. Yeah, I mean, they're quite tiny, these. These were obviously those 6x6 ones. So, you know, I haven't got a great deal of room either. So it's not just a case of keeping it flat, but also there's not a great deal of room, obviously, on that 6x6 one to put anything that's very big. So I'm going to need to, you know, do quite tiny things, or put quite tiny things on there. I mean, they're quite pretty, aren't they? And then I've got this little flower, so I'm just going to peel this layer of petals off. Okie dokie. Oops. Okay. Whoops. And I'm just thinking, you know, this could go on the flap. That one, I have to say, doesn't go very well with those flowers that I picked for there. So yeah, maybe I will have to rethink this. Let's just have a look. Maybe they're not the right flowers. Let me see what else I've got. Hold on. Oh, have I got anything stamped, I wonder, that I could use? Have a look. So I just keep a sort of, you know, small selection of stamped things in my little container that Brenda so kindly bought me. You know, it's just handy to have a few things there that are just completely ready to use then. Because, you know, I like using my stamped things. I mean, I love my printables, but, you know, equally I really like using the stamped items as well. So it's good to have, you know, them both to choose from. So that's quite nice, isn't it? So I'm going to just glue that down. So first time that we've had to use glue, obviously, in this video. So that's cool, isn't it? Okie dokie. These little flowers here, these little roses, in case you're wondering, they were from some scrapbook paper, very, you know, long time ago. You know, they're not from a printable or anything, and I really couldn't tell you what scrapbook paper they were from, I'm afraid, because it's such a long time ago that I cut those out. So yeah, I've obviously been hoarding them ever since. Just going to ink this around a little bit more because it's still looking quite white. I just ink that doily up as well. And we're just going to put the little hot air balloon on that flap. I'm just going to hot glue that down. Just really nice and quick. Like that. Okay. Oops, don't know how straight that was. There we go. That's a bit better. So that's that one. So cute. Really, really sweet. And then the next one. So again, I'm just going to ink it up a little bit. Like that. Okay, and again, just open it up a little bit and, you know, ink the inside as well. Like that. And I'll just do the back again, just in case, you know, if this is not glued down, it's good to have the continuity then for the back as well. And again, should probably do the inside too, so mustn't be lazy. Okay. Just then do, just ink all of that. Okay, right. Gorgeous paper, isn't it? Gorgeous pattern. Okay, and then that just tucks in there like that. And then my flap. And I'm wondering, that looks okay on there, doesn't it? Let's just see what else we could have on the envelope piece itself. So I could have a bit more of the doily, to be honest. Again, do I have anything just stamped or anything that could go on here? Oh, I've got that flower. I'm not sure that's quite right. Get rid of that out of the way. Oh, just having a look. I've got quite a few things that I've been using lately that are these colours. Okay. Okie doke. There we go. Okay. And just drop around here. Okay, so I'm just going to ink this up a little bit. Again, mainly to disguise my shoddy cutting. So we could have it like that, couldn't we? That's quite pretty. So I'm just going to pop this. You know, it really doesn't take very much to decorate these because, like I say, I mean, you want to keep them reasonably, you know, flattish. You don't want to kind of cover the whole thing because, of course, then it's going to not be very great from a writing point of view. Oops. So we'll just pop that on there. And then, whoops. And then got some white lace here. Again, this was just a little piece that was kind of laying around on the desk. But I'm thinking we could, you know, have that there. I mean, as long as we had it here, so as if this were glued down and when it opens, it's still laying flat, if you see what I mean. So I'm just going to glue that down. Oops. Oh my goodness. No sooner do I touch the glue than I'm literally, you know, dragging things all over the desk with glue stuck on me. Oh gosh, my eyesight must be getting terrible because I couldn't see the end of that to put the pin back in. There we go. Put that there like that. Might just even stick that flat down there a bit. Okay. And do we want that flower as well? I mean, that flower, to be fair, is probably a bit bumpy and it would actually cause it to be a little bit bumpy when writing on there, I suppose. So perhaps we won't go for that. I wonder if I've got something else instead. Let's just have a look. Got a postage stamp, but this is huge in comparison to the envelope. And it could go on the back, I guess. Quite sweet. Just having a look to see if I've got anything else that I could use on here. Like I say, I have been actually using these types of colours quite a bit, but whether I've got anything now floating about, because I've actually finally finished the journal that I had been working on. So, let's just try this piece. Okie dokie. Yeah, this is not going to look right because, of course, it's the wrong shape. It needs to be sort of softer than that, something round or something. So, yeah, not that piece. Round but sort of flattish. That's kind of, yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I'm just rummaging through my little container of flowers. I mean, that would look quite pretty on there, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm just not sure. Oh, might have to just leave that with nothing on that flap. I mean, it doesn't really need anything. It looks quite pretty anyway. Let me just have another quick look through my stamped pieces. Got these little tickets. Not too bad. I mean, I could have one of those tucked in there, but it is very tiny, to be honest. So yeah, it's a bit insignificant probably on there. I have got a little frame. That might be quite nice on there. Let me just chop this out. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's so gorgeous on there. Yep. I'm always a sucker for these tiny frames and things. They, you know, just so lovely. And again, they're another one of those items that they just look great wherever you put them. So, you know, there's just some items, aren't there, that just wherever you put them, they always just finish it off just perfectly. And that's one of those items. Right, I'm going to just put this bunch of stamped things away again. So just clear them up. Just trying to keep on top of my mess a little bit. Okay, let's put those in there. Oops, I dropped one. Yeah, it's lovely. I can get to my organiser again. I'd really missed it because it was buried under, first of all, my Christmas journal and then my next journal that I was making. So I hadn't been able to get to it for a while, and I really missed having proper access to it. It was just buried. Okay, so all of the ones that we made, bring them all in. So we have lots and lots here. So yeah, lots of bits to use and decorate, all ready made to go into a journal. And they're obviously the decorated up ones. So I really hope that you like them. And yeah, I hope you have fun if you decide to make some. As I say, I think they're quite a versatile little piece, and you could really, you know, use them in a whole bunch of different ways. You could, you know, maybe even incorporate a magnet or something, you know, lots of different options for them, but really super cute. So I hope you have fun if you decide to make some, and thank you so much for watching. Hope you all have a fab day and see you guys soon. Thanks then. Bye.